on that field today? Ask yourself this question. What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Game time! What time is it? Let's go! We ready! We ready! We ready! We ready! And let's go to the house! And let's go to the house! When I step on the field, I send one message. And this is what it feels like. This is what it feels like. Football is getting hit. That's it. It's gonna be football now. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this, how like we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up your chin strap. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them. He's a man. He can be hit just like us. He's a man. You already make the big money. He's a man. Don't cry when you step on the field, man. That's war out there. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. Your bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We ready. And let's go to the house. And let's go to the house. It's a wrap. Game over.
All right, game's not over. It's getting started right here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on ROKU TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. Hope y'all are all having a great day today. It is Talk Your Team Tuesday, and I am ready to get it in, man. A lot to talk about, a lot to get in. We got a lot to happen, so let's get right to it. All right, last night it was Detroit getting back right, beating up on the Raiders. I mean it. It was all Raiders, 26-14, had a lot. All Lions, 26-14, had Raiders upset after the game. And I can't be mad at them because, man, the Raiders did not look good. Jimmy Garoppolo, tough night, only threw for 126 yards. And, his star wide receiver was not happy because at the end of the game, he was wide open and still couldn't get the ball on him. And, what do you do when that happens? What do you do when that happens? So we'll see. We will see. I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Adams, Devontae Adams, wants out of there before too long because it did not look good last night. But once again, the Lions are one of the better teams in the league this year, probably going to win the NFC North hands down, while the Raiders are just the opposite. They're going in the wrong direction. So that is one that I was not surprised by the outcome. What I was surprised by is the San Francisco 49ers losing their third game in a row. And I got to ask the question. I have to ask the question. Has the league and the defensive coordinators figured out something about the quarterback? Because, man, let me tell you, he looked very Monday. Threw for a lot of yards, but they didn't give up the big plays that they normally do with Brock Purdy. And, again, the Bengals looking like one of the better teams in the league right now. Remember when everybody counted them out for dead? Well, they're 4-3 right now after a very nice 31-17 win over the San Francisco 49ers, who, again, have lost 3 in a row. They were 5-0 at one point. They're now 5-3. So there you go. All right, let me get one more in before we have to roll. It's amazing what the Denver Broncos look like when their head coach is not throwing their quarterback under the bus. It's funny when the head coach just shuts up and coaches how Denver can get the job done, beating the San Francisco 49ers for the first time in forever. Final score was 24-9. They literally held Patrick Mahomes without a touchdown. Now, Russell Wilson didn't throw for a lot of yards, just $114, but he threw for not one, not two, but 3 touchdowns in the win. And again, a quality win over what arguably was the best team in the league, no longer so. Broncos over the Chiefs. Again, Talk Your Team Tuesday going on right now here on the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. We're going to take a break, but I got to get Keith Hennick's comment in. Yeah, you might be right. I thought Josh McDaniels was going to be the best former assistant for Bill Belichick out of them all. Clearly, that is not the case. So anyway, yeah. All right, let's take this break. We'll be right back with more. Again, it's the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
This is a BS3 network presentation. Politics.
They'll write the law, but they'll enforce it differently. Is that going to apply both ways?
Religion.
God never said that we can't reason together. Matter of fact, he said, let us sit and reason together.
Relationship.
I believe that everybody wants and needs somebody.
From a man's perspective.
They say, girls, if I put some polish on that and get him to buy some different clothes, girl, he could be a winner chicken dinner.
Join the thought engineer.
There's nothing wrong with me developing my piece and you developing your piece, but understand the goal is to come together.
And comedian John Yogi.
Negro, I don't need you putting on no chapstick up there in the pulpit. You do that over there in your chair.
Get ready for
Talk Monday.
Live every Monday at 7 p.m. Central. If you're looking for a sports program that gives you the flavor.
Washington Commanders? Really?
This whole thing stinks to high heaven.
That pulls no punches.
Thuggish act by a thuggish actor.
That gives you some humor.
Praise everything LeBron does and never criticize it.
If you want a show that gives you good times, then this is that show. BS3 Network proudly presents.
I am Cole Johnson and welcome to
Cole Sports with a Z. Every Friday on Patreon and every Saturday on YouTube, Spreaker, and all other outlets.
Hi, I'm Laura Williams coming to you from Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. Here we've got tons of inventory here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands, ranging from XT4s to XT6 and from CT4 to CT6. We've got tons of certified pre-owned inventory here. Come see us here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. You can contact Laura Williams at 281-224-3666.
My name is Dennis Jr., and I won $500 on the lunch break for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
All right, y'all, back here on the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. Beautiful day out by the lake, not too cool, not too hot, and we're getting another one in. Talk Your Team Tuesday, and of course, can't nobody talk louder than the Cowboy fans right now. Cowboys got right against the LA Rams, 43-20, and I need to hear where the Dak Prescott haters are today. Where are y'all, Dak Prescott haters? Where are y'all? I need to hear from y'all because your boy only went out, completed about 75% of his passes, and threw for not over 100, not over 200, but for 304. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 touchdowns in the win. Yeah, he threw a pick, but it was a tip pass. And again, off the hands of the receiver. Got to pull that in. Didn't pull it in. But more importantly, got the win. Got the win. Extended plays with his legs and helped his team get back in the win column. And they beat up on, I don't know what's going on with the Rams. 1 minute they look like they're in. Next minute they look like they're out. Cowboys are 5-2. Rams are 3-5. And, man, Matt Stafford was running for his life all game long until that thumb got injured. And then they had to bring in, the backup quarterback, and he did little of nothing. So, again, Cowboys back in the win column. Cowboys dominated that one. Total yards, rushing yards, passing yards. It was all Cowboys. And again, special teams got in on it as well. Defense had a pick six. It was a complete victory by the Dallas Cowboys. So Cowboy fans, go on and talk your stuff on Talk Your Team Tuesday. For us New Orleans Saints fans out there, we got a little something to be excited about. The New Orleans Saints got a surprisingly, nice big win over the Indianapolis Colts, 38-27. The Saints are 500. They are competing in a division where nobody is running away with it. I gotta say Derek Carr bounced back from an ugly performance last week, threw for 310, 2 touchdowns in the win. What concerns me is when Taysom Hill is your leading rusher, then something is not quite right. Two teams that I'm not enamored with their offensive coordinator, one being the New Orleans Saints, the other being the Houston Texans. Speaking of Houston, they blew a game that they really could have and should have won versus the previously winless Carolina Panthers, 15-13. Let's just get with the just the little stuff. Number one, first time a number one, number two, and number three top picks in the draft played in the same game. Normally, they're on 3 different teams. This time, they were on 2 teams. Number 1 in Carolina, 2 and 3 in Houston. But for the Houston Texans to only put up 13 points, 13, they are not getting the job done. C.J. Stroud only threw for $140. No touchdowns, no turnovers. But what you got to look at is the running game. The Texans are not running the ball properly, adequately with Dameon Pierce, who is a running back that doesn't do well in the zone running scheme. You need a running back that can get some jiggle and some wiggle in that zone running scheme, and that's not who Dameon Pierce is. Dameon Pierce is the guy who puts his foot in the ground and goes, and if you hit him, he's going to give you some yards after contact. But the Texans have one of those, offensive coordinators that's got to run his scheme as opposed to fit his scheme to his players. And then I got to give some junk to the defense. Once again, they could not stop a team that had to go on a long drive to have a chance to win the game. The Texans literally allowed Bryce Young to drive the ball down the field about 85 yards and put them in position for the game-winning field goal, which they made, and they got the win. Texans had a chance to be above 500 for the first time since 2018. They could not get it done. Congratulations, Bryce Young, and putting all the haters to rest, all the naysayers. God had to get quiet because Bryce threw for 235, a touchdown, and most importantly, got the win. So, again, congratulations to them. Jacksonville over the Steelers. Again, the Steelers are one of those teams where as soon as you think they're about to, hit some gas and go, they get put out an effort like they did this past Sunday. Jacksonville 20-10 on the road. Now, I guess you want to look at the fact that Kenny Pickett got hurt and they had to bring in Mitch Trubisky, and you know what Mitch Trubisky did. He Trubisky'd, and anyway, they got the loss. I don't know what they're going to do with their offensive coordinator there, but I had a chance to talk with a guy from Pittsburgh, and he's like, man, we love Mike Tomlin. We love the fact that he's never had a losing season, but they're not looking for him just to have a non-losing season. They're looking for him to have his team in competition for a Super Bowl. And you got to know Steel Town is one of those towns where Super Bowls matter. And right now they are not in contention for one with the way they're playing. Got to see what what the deal is with Kenny Pickett, if he's going to be out long or if he's going to come back strong. So we'll keep you posted on that. All right, let's take another break. We'll be right back with more right after this on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV.
Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker.
Steph Curry, Tim Anderson, Jordan Alvarez, and it's caught. Deebo Samuel with the catch. Michael Jordan can sense the throw. Just got the king.
BS3 Network. The hottest of hot takes. The coldest of cold hard facts. This is Snowman in the Morning with Cole Johnson. Weekdays at 8 a.m. Eastern. Check your local listings for your viewing and listening pleasure.
Hi, I'm Laura Williams coming to you from Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. Here we've got tons of inventory here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands, ranging from XT4s to XT6 and from CT4 to CT6. We've got tons of certified pre-owned inventory here. Come see us here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. You can contact Laura Williams at 281-224-3666.
Set the world record, and I lost concentration and I fall off that hurdle. I was devastated.
Posición game ball de Canadá, dominando la prueba, y la estadounidense Sharifa Blackdale está en.
When I fell over that hurdle, it ended my career. And then all of a sudden, my coach grabs me by the throat. And I was going through some paperwork and seeing that he had spent 10 years in prison. And I was just like floored. It turned to domestic violence. I was terrified. So if I left, I don't know if I was going to die. My family didn't know if they was going to get a phone call to say that Sharifa was dead.
8910 radio, I said a vehicle took a shot at me. Southbound on East 95th.
Broke the U.S. record in the 400-meter hurdles. Represented the United States of America.
Imagine being on the biggest, fastest roller coaster that you have ever been on. That's the way my life was for 20 years.
I never had no trouble out of her being what she wanted to be. Because if this is what she wanted to be a runner, well, God bless her, and he did.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch money for keeping up with the Jonas Bracket Challenge.
All right, y'all, back here on the lunch break, powered by JM&E, streaming live on Roku TV, courtesy of BS3 TV. Let me go ahead and wrap these football scores up. Let me go ahead and go through the rest of them. As we said, the Raiders lost to the Lions 26-14. How about the Titans beating the Falcons 28-23? And I would be remiss if I didn't give rookie quarterback Will Levis out of Kentucky some love, because that dude went off 4 touchdowns. And, of course, D-Hop caught 3 of them in the win. Derrick Henry over 101 yards. Many people thought Derrick Henry was going to be traded by the trade deadline. Hey, they talking about holding on to Derrick Henry and the entire squad. If they need to get rid of anybody, let it be Ryan Tannehill. Go with Malik Willis and Will Levis and see what they can do. But big day for Will Levis. You know, again, I ain't getting all excited because remember how they thought Brock Purdy was unstoppable. He's been a whole lot stoppable since. So congratulations to them in the win. Talked about the Panthers beating the Texans 15-13, Jacksonville beating the Steelers 20-10, the Cowboys over the Rams 43-20. Minnesota lost their quarterback for the rest of the season due to an Achilles injury, 24-10. That would be a good spot for Ryan Tannehill. 24-10 over the Packers, by the way. All right, Dolphins over the Patriots. Again, Mac Jones ain't it. Mac Jones is not it. Saints beat the Colts 38-27. The Jets forced a game into overtime because of the stupidity of somebody on the coaching staff of the New York Giants. I'll leave it at that. But the Jets got the win. They're 4-3. Giants are 2-6. Final score there was 13-10. One of the ugliest games I've seen in a long time. How about the Eagles? They're 7-1. They came back and beat the Commanders 38-31. Again, got to do something different in Washington head coach wise. Got to do something different in Washington head coach wise. And again, just when y'all think that Seattle ain't about that life, they're 5-2 after beating Cleveland 24-20. Cleveland been very competitive without their starting quarterback. The Baltimore Ravens are 6-2, beating the Cardinals 31-24. The Cardinals going to go put Josh Dobbs on the bench and gonna go with Clayton Tune out of University of Houston, where they got some mail. I'll talk about that a little bit. Again, the Bengals beat the 49ers 31-17. Broncos beat the Chiefs 24-9. The Chargers all over the Bears 30-13. And how about them Buffalo Bills? They beat Tampa Bay 24-18. Baker Mayfield now lost a few games in a row. Like I said, let the blame game begin. That is your NFL wrap. All right, let's real quick switch over to the World Series. That is now 2-1 for the Rangers, who won last night 3-1 thanks to a 2-run home run, but they suffered some injuries. Adolis Garcia is out, and then of course Max Scherzer left the game with an injury. So not sure if the Rangers got enough firepower to hold on against Arizona. I'm picking Arizona to win tonight to tie that series at 2 games apiece. Let's go back and look at college football. From this past weekend. Let's go top 25, and then of course we'll go HBCUs from last weekend. Georgia looking like the Georgia that we thought that they would be. Of course, tonight will be the official CFB college football playoff CFP rankings. So we'll see what that looks like. But again, Georgia with a big win over Florida 43-20. So I don't know if that was more Georgia or if Florida is just a fraud. I don't know. Notre Dame looked real good. The Ohio State look real good. Louisville is looking like something for real. The way they manhandled Duke 23-0. Oregon got back in the win column with a big win over Utah. Utah, of course, without their starting quarterback. And, the farmer that they had in there just didn't quite look right. UT, big win over BYU. Kansas knocked off previously unbeaten Oklahoma. That's going to drop them out of contention. Florida State, hate to admit it, I might have been wrong at the beginning of the year. They might be the real deal, although they play a lot of teams in the ACC that just ain't about nothing. 41-16 over a mediocre Wake Forest team. So we'll see how that looks. USC hung on to beat California 50-49. What's up with your head coach at USC? Does this dude know how to take responsibility? Your defense is trash, bruh. 50-49. Tennessee all over Kentucky. Air Force over Colorado State. Colorado State doing all that talking against Colorado. They're 3-5. They're 3-5. Washington, again, big win over Stanford, 42-33. UCLA held on to beat Colorado. And a lot of comments after the game about Coach Deion Sanders saying that the big picture to fix his offensive line problem is to go out and get new linemen. And you got a lot of folks who want to come down on Coach Deion Sanders. He's not motivating his players. He's not coaching them up in the trenches. And, again, my story ain't everybody else's story. I walked on to a school that Division I, and we literally had a head coach that walked into a room full of us at the beginning of the year and said, if I did not recruit you, I'm never going to play you. I was one of maybe 30 people in that room. And his exact words were, if I didn't recruit you, I'm never going to play you. And then he went out and did a press conference and said the same thing. If I didn't recruit these guys, I'm not going to play these guys. We're trying to win, da-da-da-da. Well, we didn't have social media back then. We didn't have Twitter, and we didn't have Facebook, and we didn't have Instagram. Hell, I don't even think we had ESPN. So it didn't get as big of a buzz as the whole Deion Sanders thing. So watch this. This coach got fired. And the next head coach that came in literally looked a future NFL player, played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Bubby Brister, looked him in the face and said, I'm going to start my son. His son couldn't win the starting job at Notre Dame, but his dad made him the starting quarterback at my alma mater. Well, guess what he did? He went out to the media and told them the same thing. We're sitting this quarterback down. We're going to go with my son, and we're going to go from there. My point in saying this is y'all repeat terms and terminology that you heard. Oh, coaching them up and developing players and stuff like that. Coach Prime inherited a 1-11 team. They're now a couple of wins away from being bowl eligible for the first time in God knows when. A lot of folks don't think that they'll win another game. Hey, listen, that's why they play the games. But for him to say the big picture, and if you're going to talk about him, talk about the entire context of the comment. The big picture is to go out and get new linemen. Yes, he has got to recruit better linemen to compete on the level of the Pac-12 and the Big 12. And clearly right now he does not have that. And I don't want to hear, oh, he's not coaching them up. He's not developing players. We see that Dabo Swinney ain't developing players either. When's the last time he had a quarterback since Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson? What were y'all saying when Nick Saban was having a hard time trying to figure out a quarterback at Alabama? I mean, again, it's always easy to talk about the guy that you don't like. Colorado has got to have better linemen so that their skilled players can be as skilled as they have to be. And that's offensive linemen and defensive linemen. Come on now. Come on now. And again, HBCU community, be best, man. Y'all got to be better. Those kids getting their stuff taken after the game or during the game or whenever they got taken, a lot of folks want to say that's a lie because he said the same thing down at Jackson State. Here's the bottom line. If I put something in my locker during a game, it needs to be in my locker after the game. I don't give a damn if I'm at Jackson State. I don't give a damn if I'm at Colorado, UCLA, Alabama. If I put something in my locker, it should be in my locker when I get back. If it is not, that's called theft. Period. Last and certainly not least, Dabo Swinney. Bruh, you going off on a fan talking about he's the problem. You don't care how much money you make. You're not going to be talked to like you're 12 years old. You're sounding real sensitive. You're sounding real sensitive. And for me, it couldn't happen to a better coach. Mr. Players, if players get NFL NIL, I'm gonna quit. You're still coaching. Not well, mind you, but you're still coaching. So you're just getting what you deserve. All right, speaking of deserved, James Harden finally got traded from the Philadelphia 76ers to the LA Clippers. Draft picks, players him and PJ Tucker are going to the LA Clippers. Nobody died. Everyone is alive. No animals were killed in the making of the trade. So as always, let's not be divided. Let's be united. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it except tune in tomorrow for Winning Wednesday when we announce that the winner of the Lunch Break Weekly Keeping Up with the Joneses Pick'em Challenge is, we'll find out tomorrow. Willie, I got to get you in. Willie said Prime had a JUCO offensive tackle commit yesterday. Oh yeah, he gonna get some dogs in that trenches. But he's not developing players. He's not developing play. Y'all just be repeating what y'all heard, man. Let that man alone. All right, let me get out of here before I say something that's gonna get me fired. Y'all be blessed. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
My name is JM&E, and I won $500 on the lunch break from the Keeping Up with the Joneses Bracket Challenge.
It's Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today, it's Tuesday, the last of October, 2023. Number 1, mass shootings that took place last Wednesday were the deadliest of the year, and then they were followed by shootings around the country over the pre-holiday weekend. The mass shootings in Maine shut down most of the state after the shooter, identified as Robert Card, killed 18 people and wounded 13 others in a bowling alley and a nearby restaurant in and around the town of Lewiston. Weekend Halloween celebrations took deadly turns in 12 mass shootings across the country, including Chicago, Indianapolis, Tampa, Atlanta, and Texarkana, Texas, killing 12 people and wounding dozens of people. Number 2, retailers including Walgreens and Target want harsher sentences for thieves due to an increase in losses that equate to over $100 billion. But despite concerns that retail theft accounts for only 1.5% to 2% of sales, a stable percentage, and losses increased by 19% last year. But as a percentage of sales, the effect is minor. A problematic aspect of this trend is its disproportionate effect on the Black community, as many stores, including Target, Walgreens, and Walmart, are closing or under threat of closure in predominantly Black neighborhoods. Number 3, staying healthy during the holidays doesn't mean you can't enjoy the parties and celebrations. Indulging in your favorite seasonal flavors a little bit won't hurt if you plan ahead for meals that are healthy too. The What You Need to Know newsletter, along with our partners from Black Health Matters, giving you tips on how to keep from gaining weight during the holidays. And good luck. Number 4, Sylvester Hayes, a 27-year-old Black single father of 4 children, was pulled over in October of 2021 by Dallas police, then beaten and tasered after they mistook him for a domestic violence suspect with a similar name but with a different spelling. According to a federal lawsuit that Hayes filed last week against the city and multiple police officers, he was wrongly arrested after police realized their mistake. The arrest ultimately cost Mr. Hayes his home and his job. Number 5, is it a good idea to have a Roth 401k? Saving for retirement is important, and while the Roth IRA is a popular choice among experts, a Roth 401k may be a better option for many individuals. Our celebrity CPA to the stars, Katrina M. Kraft, gives 3 reasons why the Roth 401k is a better option in today's newsletter. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. An open mind, a loving heart, and action are a recipe for having fun. Yay. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedian Damon Williams, political contributor Cameron Riley, and producer Ahmed Gordon as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, the American Heart Association and Black Health Matters. Barbara Scotia College and HBCU in Concord, North Carolina needs our help. The What You Need to Know team is asking supporters, alumni, and friends of Barbara Scotia to help them meet their immediate and pressing need by donating to help Barbara Scotia rise. Please join the thousands of donors from around the world who are stepping up to save one of the nation's oldest HBCUs. Please visit SybilWilkes.com for more information. And check out a celebration of Black filmmakers rooted in the HBCU culture. That's November 10th through the 12th at Howard University's Blackburn Center. I'm Sybil Wilkes. Be informed, be empowered.
Hi, I'm Laura Williams coming to you from Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. Here we've got tons of inventory here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands, ranging from XT4s to XT6 and from CT4 to CT6. We've got tons of certified pre-owned inventory here. Come see us here at Bayway Cadillac of the Woodlands. You can contact Laura Williams at 281-224-3666.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.